In May of this year, we were able to sit down and have a wonderful conversation with Tiny Shiny Home, and we wanted to share that with you now.
Do we know you?
Hey guys.
I like you.
What's up?
So much.
How you doing? Hi.
How you doing?
Oh, good.
This is Jonathan, Mr. Jonathan.
What's up, guys?
My name's Carolyn.
I'm Garrett. Hey, man. Hey. So yeah, just drive on up in there and I'll get the gate. Hey everybody, I'm Garrett.
And I'm Carolyn.
And we're Diary of a Family.
We're living life intentionally with you. Today we're hanging out with some awesome friends that we met through the internet. Woohoo! This is Jonathan and Ashley, and they are Tiny Shiny Home.
Yeah. What's up?
So we're going to interview them so that our D-Fam can get to know them, and we're just going to do it.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Okay. First off, tell us a little bit about yourselves, your family. Go ahead.
Oh man. Where do you want me to start?
Just a little bit about where
Okay,
you're
let's
from,
see.
how many kids do you have, who are
Okay.
you?
So we're a family of 6. We were based in Knoxville, Tennessee. We started traveling in 2015. We traveled all over the country for
5 years.
5 years. We renovated a vintage Airstream to sort of camp
beautiful.
off-grid.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. And then we bought some off-grid property in Arizona, which is where we're at currently.
Cool.
So what are you guys living in right now?
1972 Airstream Sovereign.
Land yacht.
Oh, land down
Yeah.
too. Sovereign.
31
land.
foot for
Cool.
6 people.
Yeah.
And your dad helped remodel a lot.
Yeah. It was my dad, me, and Jonathan for 6 months straight.
Yeah.
Very cool. 6 months, that's a long time to dedicate to a remodel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was intense.
Yeah, it was a big deal though because we really wanted to know how our RV worked.
Right. Well, we spent the first year traveling in a fifth wheel,
Yeah,
brand new, lots of problems,
Yeah.
and in and out of shops, and we were like, we're not going to do that anymore.
It was a bit of a lemon, huh?
yeah,
Yeah. Well, not necessarily. Just like it's
No.
it's a common thing with new
Yeah.
RVs.
Yep.
But also we fell in love with boondocking and didn't
Yeah.
realize you could really do that, and we definitely couldn't do it with that rig. And so part of this remodel was really building this thing from the ground. Well, I won't say that. I won't say building from the ground up because generally Airstreams are really built well for off-gridding anyway.
Yeah.
But we sort of added like the composting toilet and the solar,
Extra
and the
tanks.
extra tank, yeah, all that stuff, the lift
Nice.
kit and all that stuff, so
Wow.
that we could like really take it off the beaten path. Yeah.
I wish we could add a lift kit to our fifth
You don't
wheel.
need it though.
Yeah.
That's the fun thing about the Airstream is the wheels set up inside,
Mhm.
whereas most
Very
fifth wheels
low
they
clear.
sit. Yeah.
What drew you to homesteading? Because you could have just bought a house and moved into a neighborhood.
Mm,
Why
no.
homestead?
We could never go back. We will never go back to a subdivision or a neighborhood. Something's blowing around.
It's very windy today. I think that was a 5-gallon bucket.
Yeah.
We'll rescue it later, I guess.
Yeah, well, like Jonathan said, our love of off-grid living really
Yeah.
inspired us to find land off-grid to where we can just build a homestead from the ground up. It's always been a dream of mine, but mostly our oldest daughter, Adelaide, really wanted a homestead. So,
She wanted like animals,
Animals, yeah.
and then you kind of fell in love with
and I
the
was like,
idea
ooh,
of
gardening. And
gardening, like natural building,
Yeah.
and like building in sort of unconventional ways.
It's been a process of like,
Yeah.
how can we make this land better, but use the land to make it better. So
That's such an interesting, it's not necessarily a box you put yourself into, but kind of guidelines, like this is how we want to live, and so we're going to find these new ways, or even old ways.
Yeah.
Of doing that. We're going to get to that in a
Yeah.
second. So we've been watching your solar shed build, this 30-day process that turned into 60 days. 60 days of daily vlogs. Oh my goodness. So tell us about the process of building this Adobe style shed, and when you think you're going to be done with it.
we started back in October,
Yeah.
working just on the weekends for like until January,
Yeah.
through January, I guess.
We had other things we were doing.
Yeah.
We were, doing animal paddocks and like all sorts of other things.
Goat
that-
births.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Go births, go babies. But yeah, so we really kind of kicked it into gear early this year, and that's when we decided to do like the 30-day challenge. The idea was that we need a place to house like our our solar stuff. So we're going to be setting up a whole solar system out here because we're off grid for the property. So we were just going to build something really small, and then we're like, well, you know, we figured out this whole multi-use thing with the Airstream, so like, let's go ahead and make this building multi-use. And so it slowly grew to
Into
include
an office
and a guest room.
Yeah.
So it's still under 200 square feet, but
Which is state regs that you don't have to.
It's so we don't have to get it permitted.
Yeah.
right, so it's technically considered a shed, right?
Yeah.
So we decided to do this thing called Hyperadobe earth bags, and it's a tube style mesh that we fill with our native soil and a little bit of cement and water, and then we tamp it down, and so then we build it up as high as we want to.
It's
Right.
solid as a rock.
Yeah,
it's
it's
the
crazy.
coolest building.
Yeah, it's kind of a new, like, earth bag has been around a long time, but this type of Hyperadobe netting is pretty new because it doesn't require barbed wire because the mesh interlocks with itself. So it's simpler and safer,
Cheaper.
The bags are half as expensive as like the Keller style
But you
bags.
also eliminate the need for the barbed wire, so you're saving on expenses there.
Exactly,
Right,
yeah.
Right.
So we've been really happy with like how it's turned out. It's been a really fun process,
Yeah.
and it's been really cool because so many other people are starting to sort of take notice of this this style of building. Like I said, it's pretty new. So
And you can do it yourself.
Right.
we've done it.
Yeah.
With, all of our
Just
kids
us
have
and the
helped
kids,
for
yeah.
every step of the way. Like
Yeah.
it's been like a real family process, which
very
has been
cool.
fun.
So
As-
how long? How long
yeah.
till it's
As to
done?
when we'll be done,
We're hoping this summer.
yeah, we really want to have our power system installed inside the solar shed so that we can
Hook it up.
keep the Airstream cool,
Yeah.
because last summer was brutal out here. We basically
Yeah.
were running generators 24/7, and it was
Just to run the
horrible.
ACs, yeah.
So we're hoping that we can be running that off of that new solar
Well, good
system.
plan.
Luck, yeah.
So what's your ultimate goal for the homestead?
I want to live off of as much as we can grow here. That includes plants, but also animals.
Yeah.
I want to garden. I want to divert all of our water that we use to plants to grow more food.
We want
But
to catch
also,
the
we're going to be
rainwater.
catching our
Yeah.
rainwater eventually when we get more storage. Any roofs that we build will be catching water.
Yeah, we just want to be as self-sustainable or as self-sustaining as possible. So we're generating our own power, we're catching our own water, we're growing our own food.
Yeah.
Eventually.
And-
when we get there.
A lot of
I'm just-
infrastructure we're
I'm
still
just-
working on, yeah.
I'm thinking desert, Arizona, not the best place to do this.
I'm
but,
determined.
But
Yeah.
there's got to be ways agriculturally, right, for managing a garden. I'm just so used to
Yeah.
different gardening. In Pacific Northwest, you get rain, and then
Right.
summertime
It's very
sun.
different.
Yeah.
Um,
Different plants you grow.
That being
have
said,
it.
we are pretty high elevation, so we're what's considered the high desert, and so it is a little different than what most people would think of as desert. I mean, we still have a lot of trees, we have mountains, we've got grasses and stuff.
You have snow that you'll be able to catch.
a little bit of snow, in the winter. But yeah, there's definitely, and you've researched some of this whole like greening the desert thing, which
Yeah,
is
it's a lot of permaculture base and building earthworks to catch what water you do get and divert it to where you want it to go.
reuse it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
There's
when
a
it
whole
rains,
science to it.
Wow.
everything will be diverted to plants, and
Wow.
hopefully our little slice here will be green
Yeah.
eventually.
That'll be
Eventually,
awesome.
it's gonna be a while.
It's gonna take a while.
Yeah.
Well, and your kids are learning so much too about living off the land. So
Mhm.
what an experience that
Yeah.
they'll have to tell their
Yeah.
kids. And
Yeah.
They're learning how to farm and to build. So it's
And
pretty cool.
Power and catch
Yeah,
water.
yeah,
and
it's-
Yep, yep.
Constant every day is
Build
learning experience.
dirt houses.
I
Yeah.
mean, kids in a cul-de-sac that play their video games and basketball, they're not thinking about when they flip a light switch.
Right.
What
How
it
much power
takes.
that takes.
Right, what it
Right.
takes.
Yeah.
But, all right, and what's our Oh, okay. So, who's in the T-Rex costume?
We don't know what you're talking about. No idea what you're talking about.
I love it. I love it.
No comment.
The first rule of T-Rex is
The first rule
no
is
T-Rex.
T-Rex, there is no T-Rex. That's great. All right, so tell our D fam where they can find you on social media and how they can support you.
TinyShinyHome.com is sort of our hub. You can find us on all the social places at Tiny Shiny Home, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter?
I don't know. I don't do Twitter. You
I
can
don't do Twitter either.
And we do have a place if you want to help support us at tinyshinyhome.com/support. So
Become a tiny shiny homie.
Yeah, we
be a
do have
tiny
a
shiny homie. We've got all sorts of random ways you can help if you want.
But it's all at tinyshinyhome.com.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, thank you so much for inviting us out to your
Yeah,
homestead and showing us
Thanks for
around. Your
hanging
baby goats are absolutely
Oh, yeah.
adorable. I think Timothy is enamored with your Adobe Hypershed there, and he doesn't want to leave.
Yeah.
He wants to dig all the holes.
All the holes. You
Yes.
always want to dig all the holes. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yes.
thanks for coming out.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And as always,
Live life intentionally. Bye, everyone. You see a train. What do you think about the train?
I see pretty mountains.
Eddie's wearing his hat. Dude perfect style.
I see pretty mountains. Mommy, I'm pretending I'm Tyler, and I'm pretending I have dark hair. And I'm pretending you do have dark hair. And I'm pretending I have
A beard?